So I'm very excited to welcome you to the 7th Bme Ecr conference here in Leeds. My name is Dr. Sally Osei-Appiah, and I'm going to be your compere, fancy name, for the conference today. I have the pleasure of calling Professor Julia Bennell to give the welcome address. Professor Julia Bennell is the Executive Dean of the Leeds University Business School, where we are now. She has undertaken major research projects at the boundary between academia and industry, acted as the REF Impact Champion in 2014, and has a strong track record in teaching and educational development, holding a senior fellowship from the Higher Education Academy. I want to also mention that they have kindly funded Butter Crumble to be here for the conference today. So thank you so much for funding that.
Thank you, Sally. Is this working? Yes, you hear me. So good morning, everyone. As Sally said, I'm Professor Julia Bennell, and I'm the Executive Dean of Leeds University Business School, and it's a great honour to be able to welcome you to the 7th Bme Ecr conference, and also welcome you to the University of Leeds. I'd like to thank the organisers of the conference, in particular Sally Osei-Appiah, and all the speakers and contributors that will be part of the programme today. And I'd particularly like to welcome our Vice-Chancellor, Professor Simone Buitenweg. We are very proud to be hosting the conference here in the Business School at the University of Leeds, and in particular hosting this particular conference for the first time outside of London. So reducing inequalities and embracing the values of equity, diversity and inclusion is foundational to the values-led strategy of the University of Leeds. And our Vice-Chancellor will be talking more about the university strategy and our vision and commitment to equity, diversity and inclusion in her talk shortly. At the Business School, we share the values and the same commitment to creating an inclusive environment for our staff and students, ensuring that we are welcoming to a diverse range of people and supporting opportunity for all. Of course, these are easy things to say and very difficult things to do. It's a problem that involves people, and people create messy problems. So while we seek to put policies and processes in place, all of which are really important, we also need to change culture, which has been embedded over generations. So there's no easy fix, and it's one that requires investment and persistence. So they say, measure what you care about, and the university KPIs are doing just that when it comes to equity, diversity and inclusion. In fact, at first glance, the business school looks like it's doing quite well on the number of BME professors and the number of BME female professors compared to benchmarks. However, if you look a little closer, it's clear that we are very, very far away from where we need to be. While we have been a bit proactive, much of where we are is due to the international nature of the business school. So we need to be honest with ourselves about the fact that we have so much more to learn to get to where we need to be. So the theme of the conference is communities of influence. And I think this is a really insightful theme. A few years ago, I went to a talk about inclusion of the disabled in the workforce, and they introduced me to a tagline that really resonated with me, and it was nothing about us without us. And it seemed quite obvious when you say it, nothing about us without us, because how can a person who's never experienced disability decide the approach, policies and support needed without co-creating it with those who are on the receiving end of those policies? So communities of influence must be the voices of those who understand the lived experience and be given the agency to influence the change. And communities do not need to be large to have influence. Not long after I joined the business school, 3 female BME faculty came to talk to me about some of their experiences. And this was really influential for me as it led me to recognise how little I actually understood of the challenges. I was being passively not racist, and actually I needed to be anti-racist. So when it comes to community to help me lead, I'm fortunate that I can still call on one or two of these women and ask them to help me use my influence to make progress. So I hope you have a wonderful and a productive conference, and I hope that you can help us build a future in our universities that is truly inclusive. Thank you.